Jai Jinendra, everybody, and a very good morning or a good afternoon to people on this August the 1st, 2026. It's a beautiful Saturday, and obviously, this summer has been a roller coaster for all of us, high heats and high rains and tornadoes and everything. But hopefully, everybody is doing well on this Saturday morning. So, wishing you a beautiful day today and always. And I open up this meeting for our prayers. We have a few speakers here who would be giving their prayers, reflections, and we have chosen this week or this month the theme of interfaith, as it's going to be an interfaith harmony week coming up later in mid-August. So we said, what a better way of starting the month with prayers and reflections on interfaith. Um, for myself, as a representative of the chair of the as a representative of the board of the trustees and the chair of the Parliament of World Religions, it has been my growing up back up in India about learning about the Parliament and the 1893 convening and the coming of the Vivekanandji and Vichand Raghav Gandhi. So those are part of our curriculum in schools, and we're all taught about it. But the deep learning of interfaith started for me in my school. I am a Jain by faith, living in Delhi amongst in East Patel Nagar, which is a community that was created after the partition, and so has a mix of a good number of Hindus and Sikhs. So I was around Hindus and Sikhs friends. My parents sent me to a Christian missionary school. So I was brought up into the understanding of Christ and about the Bible. And my best friend in school was from an Islamic faith. So I saw all these points coming together. And for me, the space of interfaith became a space where I could learn more, I could enjoy more, I could be given opportunities to understand a different perspective. And it was never, for me personally, a reflection of about the differences, but the commonality in all this, right? And the commonal thread that I found was that of love, truth, and harmony. I don't think so. There's a religion in the world that doesn't talk about this, right? So I was like, you know what? Let's focus on what unites us and not what divides us. And hence, I came together with that. And then, obviously, when I came to United States, it was more about learning about my friends from the Jewish faith, and as they were all around me in New York and in my work life and everything. And then I entered Parliament, and Parliament has just such been a blessing to me personally, where I have met great men and women who are doing a good amount of work in this space. And while there was a time where I, in my limited thought, said, whatever Swamiji said, Swami Vivekananda in 1893, reverberated with the world of that time. And to my surprise and to my unlearning, I think so it's even true today, right? The walls that we build up around each other have to come down. We need to push through those unwanted personal agendas and find the common ground. And hence, I am very blessed to be part of the Parliament of the World's Religions and work with an esteemed team of colleagues in both the employees, like people like Jessica, and my trustees who are always with us. And this space is just where I think so I can spend the rest of this life, because there's so much work to be yet to be done. And while we may think that Swamiji spoke in 1893, I think so he sowed the seeds in 1893 of what is yet to come. What is yet to come is that commonality of love, harmony, brotherhood, and sisterhood amongst all of us, so we can continue to enjoy our differences and continue to celebrate what we are all about. So, thank you so much for joining. I see a lot of new people, and it's good to have different people come join us in this monthly prayer. We do put this recording up afterwards, so we do get a lot of hits on that. So a lot of people do listen to these monthly prayers and reflections, and I'm so proud to be part of this. So, having said that, I would like to introduce our first speaker today, who is Ervad Zarrir Bhandara. He's a distinguished Zoroastrian priest and scholar with over 52 years of dedicated service across India and North America, combining deep spiritual leadership with a profound commitment to humanitarian action. An ordained Mobed and recipient of the Best Student Award from an advanced 4-year priestly training courses under High Priest Dasturji Dr. Feroz M. Kotwal, he has spiritually guided communities through thousands of rituals, founded with the education programs, and actively represented the faith at interfaith forums, including the Unity and Diversity World Council. It is my utmost pleasure and an honor to have him with us here. And if he could unmute himself and share his reflections and do a prayer for us, that would be good.
Good morning, Namaste, Sat Sri Akal, Salam Alaikum, Shalom Sahibji. Honorable delegates, spiritual leaders, and friends from across the globe. Greetings in the name of Asha, truth, righteousness, and divine order. Speaking before you today at this parliament, I am reminded that the human family is much like a grand, intricate tapestry. Each religious tradition represents a distinct thread of vibrant color, woven by the Creator to reflect a unique facet of the divine. And yet, how often do we find ourselves staring at only our own thread, forgetting that the beauty of the whole depends entirely on how we relate to the threads? From the ancient perspective of Zoroastrianism, one of the world's oldest revealed monotheistic faiths, Interfaith Awareness is not merely a modern diplomatic necessity or a polite social strategy. It is an ontological imperative. Over 3.5 millennia ago, the prophet Zarathustra taught us that the universe is governed by Asha. Asha is truth, cosmic order, and righteousness. Crucially, Zarathustra did not claim a monopoly on Asha. In sacred scriptures, the Gathas, God Ahura Mazda is described as the creator of all that is good, beautiful, and true across the entire universe. In Zoroastrian theology, Asha transcends boundaries. Anyone, anywhere, regardless of whether they bow before a sacred fire, a church altar, a deity in a temple, a mosque minaret, Torah in a synagogue, Guru Granth Sahib in Gurudwara, or meditate in quiet solitude, who chooses to live a life of truth, charity, and righteousness is actively participating in the cosmic battle of good against evil, Angremenyo. Interfaith awareness therefore begins with the humbling recognition that the divine light is not boxed within any single institution and within any institutional wall. It shines wherever a human heart chooses compassion over cruelty. Our tradition speaks deeply of the Fravashi, the pre-existent divine essence of the guardian spirit present with every human being. Because every single person carries a spark of the divine, every human being possesses inherent dignity and a divine mandate to be a Frashogat, a co-worker of God in making this world wonderful and renewed. When we look across the aisle at the interfaith gathering, we are not looking at the other. We are looking at fellow co-workers in creation. We are looking at souls striving toward the same ultimate horizon, even if we are navigating the mountain via different trails. Zoroastrianism is perhaps best known by a simple 3-word maxim, Humata, Hukta, Havrashta, good thoughts, good words, and good deeds. Our religion places righteous action at the very apex of spiritual life. God does not measure us by the theological labels we wear on our sleeves, but by the kindness in our hands, the honesty in our words, and the empathy in our hearts towards all living beings, including animals. In an increasingly fractured world, interfaith awareness challenges us to move past theological debates and unite on the common ground of ethical action. When hunger strikes, poverty knocks, or injustice reigns, hunger has no religion and suffering has no creed. Our response, therefore, must be equally unified. When we feed the hungry, comfort the grieving, and protect our fragile earth, we are practicing the highest form of interfaith harmony. My friends, the ancient fires that burn in our temples are symbols of light, warmth, and wisdom. But fire has a unique characteristic. When you use one flame to light 1,000 others, the original flame loses nothing of its brilliance. Wisdom, love, and truth work the same way. By opening our hearts to learn from one another across faith traditions, we do not dilute our faith. We amplify it. We realize that the divine is too vast, too magnificent, and too boundless to be contained by any single human vocabulary. Let us walk forward together as partners in Asha, recognizing the divine spark in every neighbor and working hand in hand to bring light to the shadows of our world. Thank you, and may Dada Master bless you all with peace, wisdom, and strength. And I conclude with a short prayer. Ashim Vahu Vahishtem Asti Oshta Asti Oshta Amai Yat Ashai Vahishtai Hashem. Yes, down Panama. There you Hashem. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Zarrir. This was profoundly relevant, and I hope we take away that we all live in this world of Asha, and with the right thoughts, right deed, and right action words, we will be able to connect with each other much better and not separate each other. So thank you so much for your beautiful thoughts this morning. Moving on, I would like to invite our communications associate, Jessica. Jessica has just been a wonderful addition to our team and has been carrying the torch with us for a good 1.5 years now. And I would welcome her to express her journey and her reflections on this field of interfaith as she now moves into a full-time role with the Parliament. And it is welcome, Jessica, in that role. You'll continue to provide light to and shine to all of us. So the floor is yours, and we would love to hear from you.
Good morning. Thank you. As Nitin said, my name is Jessica Karpilo. I started working for the Parliament in April of 2025. As the communications associate, I manage our email and social media presence. I also handle the technical side of talks and presentations, and listening to brilliant people speak is a regular part of my job. This experience has taught me so much about how people of different identities can not only be tolerant of each other, but fully embrace and learn from each other in such a rich and genuine way. Centering religious identity above any other provides what I think is the most interesting tapestry of humanity available. Religion is really the one aspect of your identity where choice comes into play, though there are obvious ethnic and cultural components. Excuse me. Though there are obvious ethnic and cultural components when it comes to religious identity, truly investing in a religion requires choice. It requires will. and I think the ability to make choices is one of the things that makes us most human. The issues that the parliament has taken on are huge systemic problems that don't have clear solutions. Instead, there's a shared motivation and vision of a world where religion drives connection instead of division, and that motivation is what will drive change. When I was asked to speak today, I was asked to reflect on my experience working for the parliament. Over the last year or so, I've listened to speakers from so many different religious backgrounds who all share this desire for change, for a better, more sustainable, peaceful world. It's one thing to know that there are people in the world working towards change, it's another to hear them speak, and even more to become their colleague. Despite learning so much from the individuals I work with, I would have to say, though, that the highlight of my experience so far has been having the opportunity to dig into the Parliament's archives. Sharing moments from past convenings has been a priority for me in order to keep alive the convictions that are strengthened at these gatherings. In my dives into these videos and photos from past parliaments, I have found evidence of so much joy, beauty, and true desire to not only share, but also to learn from each other. These convenings are unlike any other gathering or event in the world. They are not only showcases and celebrations of identity, they are catalysts for action, action that is rooted in personal convictions. It would be impossible to summarize my experience in a complete way, but I've tried. So I created a list of 10 things I've learned working for the Parliament of the World's Religions. A lot of these are things I knew to be true, but I didn't have the evidence to back up. I hadn't seen the work in action or the people on the front lines of this kind of change. So here are 10 things I've learned or had affirmed working for the Parliament of the World's Religions. Number one, faith and science can exist together. They can inform each other and they can make the understanding of the other deeper. Two, there is no one right way to be religious. Three, we can lift up each other's beliefs even if they don't reflect our own. Four, non-religious is in itself a religious identity. Five, tolerance is not enough. We must fully embrace each other's identities in order to move to a more just and peaceful world. Six, not enough has changed in the world since this organization was formed in 1993. The words written in our guiding document towards a global ethic could be written today and have just as much relevance and honesty in them. The first line of the global ethic reads, "The world is in agony," and this is unfortunately still so true today. Seven, we need a central uniting mission to truly move toward a world where war is not central to our daily lives and peace is more than just a nicety or abstract concept. Eight, we have a shared responsibility to do better, better than those that came before us and better than we used to be. This is true when it comes to how we treat each other and how we treat the earth. Nine, conflict is inevitable, violence is not. 10, there are so many people who, through involvement in the parliament, as the last line of the global ethics states, have committed themselves to a common global ethic, to better mutual understanding, as well as to socially beneficial, peace fostering, and earth friendly ways of life. This gives me hope. And I think hope is central to interfaith work. Without it, the shared motivation for change wouldn't exist and progress would never happen. So I leave you with this, one of my favorite quotes from Barack Obama. If you're walking down the right path and you're willing to keep walking, eventually you'll make progress. Thank you.
Beautiful, Jessica. Wow. Oh my God. This is amazing. Thank you for a beautiful reflection. And there's a lot in that. Your 10 points could be a PhD topic by each one of them, and we could do further research. So thank you so much for a very deep personal reflection that could become a motto and message for the Parliament going forward. So that I would like to end with a thing that was part of my growing up, and it is written by a great Urdu poet, and he said, "Wo yagana hai ya yakta," means either he's two or he's one. Who ye kaun janta hai? Who knows this, right? And then he goes on to say, "Yadi du ki boo bhi hoti," means if there were two, kahin to du char hota, means he would have created something different. Something would be different, right? And he did not create, or she did not, or whatever we call this, power that is greater than us did not create anything different. We all have two hands, we all eat, we all sleep, we all love, we all want to go out, walk, travel, everything is same, right? So I believe the differences were created by us and not by the supreme person. And let's try to remove those differences and find the best part of us. I graduated from Drexel, and when I walk through Drexel University's campus, there is a Spark Therapeutics genetic company who has a huge billboard earlier there. And it was such a beautiful, they are working on the human genome, and they have this 98% of us is the same amongst all. So let's focus on what's common amongst us and not what divides us. So I would like to again end with the same thought that I started with. The common amongst us is this love and compassion, and let's keep focusing on that. Because when we try to find paths between through the love, solutions are easier. That's my theory, and I hope we can all share that and give that to everybody. Jai Jinesh, everybody. Have a very good August and enjoy this month. And we'll see you again on September 1. Thank you so much.